Swords? Really? I'm going to call Mike and get him down here to take a look at these. This is a catwalk, Rick. Trust me, it's a cakewalk. Is it a catwalk because cats walk so easily, and when they fall, they land on their feet? Rick Harrison just made a shocking statement. He's done. And with Adam gone and Chumlee in prison, everything is falling apart. For years, he built a reality TV empire, but now it's crumbling under lawsuits, betrayals, and family feuds. With lives destroyed and trust shattered, who will be the next to fall? Tune in as we uncover the hard truth that will make you hate Rick and his whole family for the rest of your life. A family business torn apart by greed. The gold and silver pawn shop started as a modest family-run business built on years of knowledge and a keen eye for valuable artifacts. At the heart of it all was Richard "Old Man" Harrison, the sharp-witted, no-nonsense patriarch who turned the pawn shop into a household name. But when he passed away in 2018, everything changed. His son, Rick, the mastermind behind the show's success, took control. But success brought greed, and greed brought chaos. Running a pawn shop was never just about making deals. It was about the stories behind each item, the history, the connection. But as the cameras kept rolling, things behind the scenes were falling apart faster than anyone realized. Before we dive deeper, it's clear that the pawn shop's downfall was more than just bad luck. Betrayal, scandal, and loss tore everything apart. And what happened next will shock you even more. Who's going to buy this thing? I don't know, but I believe that people who grew up on a farm would want a pedal tractor. The real game changer came in 2009 when Pawn Stars hit the History Channel. The show introduced viewers to the fascinating world of pawn brokering with a father, his son Corey, and Corey's childhood friend Chumlee at the center of it all. People came in with everything from ancient artifacts to rare comic books, and the unpredictable nature of the business kept fans hooked. But it wasn't just the items that made the show a hit. It was the chemistry between the cast. The sharp banter, the humorous interactions, and Chumlee's lovable but clueless persona made the series an instant success. However, as the show grew bigger, so did the problems beneath the surface. Pawn Stars wasn't as picture-perfect as it seemed. The man who led the business saw both his personal and professional life spiral out of control, and soon, lawsuits started piling up. The biggest blow came from his own mother, Joan Harrison, who accused him of manipulating her into signing over her ownership of the pawn shop. She claimed that while she was hospitalized in the early 2000s, he took advantage of her weakened state and made her unknowingly sign away her 51% stake. Later, when her husband passed away, she was supposed to inherit his remaining 49%, but she was allegedly kept in the dark about the shop's finances. She demanded an investigation into more than $500,000 in missing assets, including cash and silver that strangely vanished after her husband's death. He, of course, denied the allegations, but the damage was already done. I had no idea because, like I said, I had epilepsy. And back then, there's no research on it or anything like that, you know? So you thought you had limitations? Oh no, I thought I had a really limited life. As if that weren't enough, the pawn shop itself was struggling financially. While it once raked in over $1 million a year, the global shutdown in 2020 left them barely scraping by. The shop, which was always packed with customers, suddenly found itself nearly empty. With tourism at an all-time low and the economy in freefall, the business was barely making ends meet. But the legal troubles didn't stop there. Then came the biggest shock, Chumlee's arrest. The lovable goofball of the show was always the comic relief, but behind closed doors, he was battling demons that no one saw coming. In 2016, his house was raided by police, and what they found inside was far worse than anyone had expected. The authorities uncovered a disturbing collection of illegal substances, firearms, and other suspicious items that raised serious concerns. The sheer quantity and nature of the evidence pointed to something far more serious than a simple misunderstanding. As the news broke, shockwaves rippled through the community, and fans of Pawn Stars were left stunned. Law enforcement officials wasted no time in pressing charges. The list was extensive, including drug possession, illegal firearm ownership, and potential trafficking-related offenses. The case quickly gained media attention, with headlines speculating on the extent of his involvement in criminal activities. The once beloved reality TV star, known for his sharp eye for valuable antiques and quick wit in negotiations, was now at the center of a legal nightmare. Despite the severity of the situation, he managed to strike a plea deal, avoiding the harshest possible prison sentence. However, the damage to his reputation was irreversible. The plea meant admitting guilt, and for many of his longtime supporters, that was enough to change their perception of him forever. The man they had watched on screen, seemingly an expert in the world of pawn dealing, was now seen in an entirely different light. The fallout was immediate and brutal. Fans who had once admired him for his role in the Pawn Stars franchise felt betrayed, questioning whether the version of him they had seen on TV was ever real. Social media exploded with reactions, ranging from disbelief to outright condemnation. Some speculated that his issues had been ongoing for years, hidden behind the success of the show. Others expressed sadness, believing that fame and fortune had led him down a dark path. Though he managed to avoid serious prison time, life would never be the same. His professional relationships suffered, and any hope of a full return to the limelight seemed unlikely. The pawn shop that had once been his pride now felt like a distant memory, overshadowed by controversy. For the rest of the Pawn Stars crew, the scandal served as a harsh reminder that even those who seemed to have it all could fall from grace in an instant. But the heartbreak didn't end there. The eldest son of the pawn shop owner stayed away from the cameras for most of his life, preferring to live outside the spotlight. However, tragedy struck in early 2024 when news broke that he had passed away unexpectedly. Details remained scarce, but the loss was a devastating blow to the Harrison family. The man at the center of it all, already dealing with lawsuits, financial troubles, and Chumlee's legal mess, now had to grieve the sudden death of his son. With everything falling apart, he made it clear he was done. His empire, once built on rare finds and family loyalty, was crumbling under the weight of greed, betrayal, and scandal. His own mother was suing him. His closest friend had been arrested, and his son was gone. The pawn shop, once the heart of Las Vegas tourism, was barely holding on. What had once been a thriving business, packed with eager customers and curious fans hoping to catch a glimpse of the reality TV stars, was now struggling to survive. The very show that had catapulted them to fame had also made them vulnerable, exposing every crack in their once solid foundation. At its peak, the shop had been more than just a place to buy and sell antiques. It was a landmark, a must-visit destination for tourists who had watched Pawn Stars for years. Fans would line up outside, hoping to see their favorite cast members in action. But as time passed, scandals, internal conflicts, and changing public opinion took their toll. The magic was fading. Legal troubles and personal controversies had tainted the shop's reputation. Once loyal fans felt disillusioned, and foot traffic slowed. Reality TV fame had brought wealth and opportunity, but it had also magnified every misstep. What was once a tight-knit team now seemed fractured, with personal battles spilling into the business. Now, the pawn shop faced its biggest challenge yet, surviving in a world that had begun to move on, leaving its golden days behind. What started as a humble business had turned into a spectacle of lawsuits, lies, and loss. The pawn shop was already in trouble, but the biggest fight wasn't about money. It was within the family. And things were about to get worse.